Why does your horoscope feel so accurate? You read it and something clicks. It says you sometimes doubt yourself, that you crave honesty, but know when to stay quiet, that you have untapped potential waiting to be unlocked. And it feels like whoever wrote this really knows you. It feels like a question science should have closed long ago, but it hasn't. What we have figured out is genuinely strange. The horoscope does not know you. It knows everyone, and your brain is the one doing the magic. That's the Barnum Effect. In 1948, a psychologist named Bertram Forer gave his students a personality test. He told them he would analyze their answers and return a unique personality profile for each of them. A week later, every student received their profile. Forer then asked them to rate how accurate it was on a scale of 0 to 5. The average score was 4.26. Students called their profiles uncannily accurate. Then Forer revealed the twist. Every single student had received the exact same profile, word for word. Forer had copied the profile almost entirely from a newsstand astrology column. The profile said things like, "You have a great need for other people to like and admire you. You tend to be critical of yourself. At times, you have serious doubts about whether you have made the right decision." Every line lands, because every line is designed to. This is what psychologists now call the Forer effect. It also goes by another name, the Barnum Effect, named after the showman P.T. Barnum, who famously said, "There's a sucker born every minute." The Forer experiment has been replicated dozens of times across different cultures, different age groups, and the result is always the same. People reliably rate generic descriptions as deeply personal. The illusion runs deeper than anyone expected. So why does it work? The answer starts with how the statements are built. Barnum statements have a specific structure. They are vague enough to apply to almost everyone, but specific enough to feel individual. They often include a flattering core wrapped in a small self-critical note. You are a generous person, but you can be stubborn when you feel you're right. Nobody reads that and thinks, "That's not me," because it is everyone. But here is where confirmation bias enters. Confirmation bias, your brain's habit of collecting evidence that proves what it already believes, is running constantly, quietly, in the background. When you read, "You sometimes doubt yourself," your brain does not search for all the times that was false. It immediately retrieves a memory where it was true. That single memory becomes proof. And all the times the statement was false, they stay invisible. There is a second layer working alongside this. It's called the personal validation effect. When you are told a description is made specifically for you, you are more likely to interpret vague words through the lens of your own life. "You have untapped potential" could mean 100 different things. To a musician, it means a song not yet written. To a student, it means a grade not yet earned. Same words, completely different meaning. The vagueness is not a flaw, it's the feature. Astrologers and personality charlatans have understood this for centuries. You can even measure how the language is tuned. Psychologist Paul Meehl studied this in the 1950s and coined the term Barnum Effect to capture just how easily universal statements pass as personal truths. The brain is not broken. It is doing exactly what it evolved to do: find meaning. Pattern detection is one of the brain's oldest and most powerful tools, and finding yourself in a description feels like a pattern match. The brain treats that match as a small, quiet victory. You stop looking for the mismatches, and the horoscope starts to look like a mirror. Here's where it gets stranger. Most people, when they learn about the Barnum Effect, assume they are immune to it. They are not. A 1977 study by C.R. Snyder found that even people told that a profile was not personal still rated it as accurate for themselves. The belief sneaks in even when the door is locked. Astrology is the most visible arena where this plays out. Roughly 30% of adults in the United States say they believe astrology is scientifically valid. A 2009 meta-analysis of over 700 astrological studies found zero consistent predictive power. Zero. Yet the belief persists, and it persists in a very particular way. When a horoscope is accurate, people remember it. When it is wrong, people forget it, or quietly reinterpret it to fit. This creates what psychologists call a self-sealing belief, a belief that can never be disproved because every wrong prediction gets quietly swallowed and forgotten. There is also a social layer. Astrology is a shared language. When you tell someone you are a Scorpio, a whole personality map snaps into place, shared by thousands of other people who also read the same column. The social agreement makes the illusion stronger. It is also worth noting that the descriptions are positively skewed. Almost every horoscope emphasizes strength, resilience, and hidden depth. You are primed to believe something that flatters you. That is not astrology working. That is human psychology doing what it always does, protecting your sense of self by welcoming any story that says you matter. Knowing about the Barnum Effect does not make you immune. The bias is not a thinking mistake. It is baked into the architecture of how minds work. So the next time you read your horoscope and it lands perfectly, remember what is actually happening. A stranger wrote 20 sentences designed to apply to every human alive. Your brain read those sentences and immediately began audition casting your own life into each one. It found matches, it ignored mismatches, and then it handed you a feeling. This was written for me. That feeling is real. It matters that it felt true, but the feeling is not evidence that the stars know you. It is evidence that you know yourself, or at least that you very much want to. The Barnum Effect does not expose a flaw in you. It exposes something far older, the ancient, unbreakable need to look at the universe and find your own face looking back.